Bitcoin major flash crash today, as there is plenty of Tether FUD to go around for everyone. And today we're going to be looking at a little closer look into what this FUD is going on about, as we also have SUI and Solana, as you saw from the thumbnail. But welcome all. I am your host today, Isaac Does Crypto, aka Double A Crypto. I'm not talking about the batteries, even though I'm always powered up. Woo! Oh my gosh! Woo! And on the couch I have the amazing Druth. So,
how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing good. You're doing all right, you know?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
I'm liking having you up here and stuff. I got my own computer and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. We're switching it up for Freaky Fridays.
People are so worried right now.
I know. They're like,
it's cute.
What is going on?
Yeah.
I'm scared. Drew is here. He didn't die in a car crash this time. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat: Rusty Bot, Veteran Crypto, Nicole Ministator, Cam's Videos, Cali Crypto Dude, The Deadwood, Rich J, Chris Waters, Falco, Tommy Marin, all the peoples here. And we are pushing closer and closer to 70,000 subscribers on.
Are we really?
Yeah, we're at 67,400 subscribers. That's bullish. And we keep on moving up. And if you're not already following me on the Twitter, follow me here at Isaac Does Crypto. I am pushing back from closer to the 600 follower level from losing all of my followers because I had to block about 300 bots.
That's cute. You got a bunch of bots and thoughts following you.
Yeah,
you know?
Bots and thoughts. I'm fine with the thoughts, but not with the bots anyways. And if you're not following the Druth at Druth Crypto, he's pushing the 3,400 level here. And let's take a look at the biggest losers and the biggest winners of today. I have SUI pulled up right now. You'll find out why in a little bit.
Dude, you're gonna have to check my wife's portfolio after you get through the main. Not yet, but let's look at the main ones. But she is just on fire.
We're gonna go look at everything that's down today. Pudgy Penguin's down 12%. Dcash, no one really cares. FTX token, no one cares. XDD, all these old tokens all down. Algorand down 6.1%. Hedera down 5%. Aave down 5%. Aave's at a good little buying level here, I believe so.
Where's Aave at?
Aave's at
Scoot your screen a little bit so I can see the price.
Yeah.
Where you at? Click the top of it.
Yeah. It's down.
Hold on.
Scoot it over there.
320.
Down 5% on the day. Took a massive haircut all the way down here.
That ain't really a haircut though. Like, go to the yearly. Let's go to the yearly.
Never mind. I'm just kidding. If it's gonna load up here, it should be loading in a second.
I want to see this level because Aave, this is a project we've been bullish about since like $50. Now it's at $320. It's okay. There you go.
So yeah, I didn't look at the year chart. Otherwise, I'd realize that it's actually up only. Unlike, I did not mean to do that. But yeah, so that's up only. We're gonna go back down to.
That's just something crazy to think about. Like, you know, you see like a pullback. It's like one of the biggest losers of the day, but the graph is still like vertical
all the way up.
Yeah, I don't know. Aave, I feel like it's going to be a great performer in the portfolio, but these prices are too damn high for me. I don't know. Like, I kind of want to get Aave closer to the 250 range if possible. We'll see if I get it.
It's always possible, especially with the major pullback we're seeing today. Let's go back to the biggest gainers. We have Virtual's Protocol up 14% on the day. BitGet up 7%. This native token up 5% on the day. Lido DAO up 4%. Hyperliquid, one of the projects I've been looking into, but do not hold any tokens whatsoever, up about 5% on the day. Radium up 3%. But we're going to go take a look at your wife's portfolio because there is something crazy going on in the works over here.
Oh, I'll go to the watch list. I got them on all the watch lists.
I did not mean to do that.
So she accidentally added this one. Yeah, this is fine. Leave it on this one because she added it to this one accidentally. So first the 24-hour.
Yep, 24-hour. 65%.
Let's see this load up.
If it loads up. Parsec, the biggest gainer on the day. Now, any day now. There are so many stories. This computer is absolutely overloaded. It doesn't want to move at all.
Do my computer here. There we go.
Yeah.
Look at this. So this will make it easy.
Very easy.
Look what she's done. Look what she has done.
65% on the day. Drew, how do you feel about your wife's pick?
Great, because it's in our family portfolio. Parsec is moving insanely aggressively right now, though. And she, just to explain this project simply, it is a data aggregation tool for blockchain tech to be simply relayed over to corporations and enterprises. So it consolidates the data from the blockchain and then puts it out in a digestible manner to existing infrastructure, kind of large corporations. Another one this one's been kind of sleepy. I know that this $5 level's holding pretty good. All the psychos only remain in MAGA meme coin. Morpho, though, this is one we do have news about it today, but absolutely incredible. This thing has not given a damn about the rest of the market pullbacks. A lot of the worries in Bitcoin, like Morpho, has been insanely aggressive. I bought it at $1.20 on this little shelf here. And I wanted to see some pain today in Morpho to buy more Morpho, because it's increasing in total value locked in deposits at a pretty exponential rate. So just some lights, we got some lights in the tunnel there, some picks that are going nuts.
Shout out Bluegrass Man.
Oh, Bluegrass Man. What's up, baby?
Now we just need to get Big Daddy in here, and we have the 2 player haters of the year going against each other. So, see, I told you, who's this Putz? He's just already after it. I'm here for it all. And as last Friday I talked about my buys, and today I'm going to be talking about my buys again. I bought about 100 tokens of Drift, and I also bought $100 worth of Bitcoin. And I just broke an all-time high in my portfolio. $1,000 total investment.
You're a thousandaire.
I'm a thousandaire now.
This is
so it's great. It's great. I'm moving up. I started from a small bag, and we're climbing. But let's get on to this Bitcoin news here. I got this from Sentiment. After the post-Christmas market-wide dip, crypto markets are seeing an encouraging trend of whales moving stablecoins to exchanges. According to the Sentiment feed, top centralized exchanges deposits dashboard, there have been 7 different Binance deposits worth at least $9 million in the past 24 hours alone, including one worth $50 million. These FDUSD moves are partly for the new Bio protocol launch pool in order to farm the altcoin. Whenever there is a new project in the launch pool, we tend to see a wave of BNB and stablecoins being locked in order, blah, 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 blah. Here is the wallets that have been moving stablecoins. First Digital, they moved 9 million about what is this? 10:35. Yeah, 10:35 and 2 in the morning. So this is great. This is on December 24th. Both of these. They're making
this is
big moves.
whales stacking up, getting ready to buy in a pretty big way. So these are things that you won't see happen right away, but seeing these types of movements in the background is all the retail run scared for the hills, and they're selling their bags and they're changing out of one token into the next. Whales are just getting ready to hammer it. So this is the changing of the hands, where the money leaves from the patient, from the impatient to the patient. Basically, it's a matter of having some balls going into the bull market here. Yeah. I guess that's where we're at in the timeline.
Apparently, I missed a milestone from the Colemanist Tater. I don't know if you're able to pull that up.
I'll pull it up while you're talking.
But we have this from Cointelegraph. U.S. Bitcoin ETFs now have more assets under management than gold ETFs. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have been on the market in the U.S. For less than a year. Now, this is absolutely insane because, gold has been one of the biggest traded things for almost 2 centuries now, if not more. And Bitcoin ETFs have only been trading for a year, and it's already about to flip it. So I'm not too, I don't have all the information about how these ETFs work and how they're traded and all that. So I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, I mean, this is like something really interesting to think about. So Bitcoin overtaking assets under management compared to gold. It took, in 1933, around 1933, the U.S. government came and asked with guns in their hand nicely to the United States citizens to hand over their gold, right? They needed to build up the gold reserve currency for the United States. And then we pulled off the gold standard in 1970s. It's caused a lot of calamities worldwide. But now that the Bitcoin ETFs are outpacing gold assets under management with only being out for a year, it really begs the question, how long can gold hold on? Because gold's at about an $18 trillion market cap right now. So Bitcoin's only at about, what was it, like $2 or $3 trillion?
Bitcoin is at
what is it at right now?
1.8 trillion.
1.8 trillion. Yeah. So, when we think about if Bitcoin accomplishes the market cap, just parities with gold, that creates that $1 million per Bitcoin level. and it's moving at a pretty exponential rate, catching up with that. Not only the market cap, but also the ETF holdings. So this is something to think about as far as the quickening of the change of how money is handled and what money really is. And, we look at the ETF standard, we look at the assets under management, great. These are all statistics that are catching up with each other. But this is it's now a digital economy. And, I don't necessarily, there's a lot to conversate here because think about at large, a lot of people still make the money at brick and mortar locations, like in-person, shops. And really, there is something to think about when you see the changing of hands of how the economy is working at large. You're going to end up with a lot of shops shutting down and, people actually losing their jobs. The money changing the hands out of what they used to make money from. And so you have to pivot and find a way to make money in a new fashion. And that is something that I saw coming in the time frame about 5-6 years ago when I was a headhunter. Used to hire for heavy industrial construction. And I started to notice that a lot of economy and just general production was moving online, and the introduction of smart contracts. So I put those two and two together. I kind of realized that, this was the death of brick and mortar retail. A lot of people say, oh, no, we're always going to want a place that we can go in person and see things and touch them and buy them from. But really, is that the way things really are? This is from Washington's Ghost. Let's see if I can swap this out. Yeah, here we go. So this is all the different closings that are coming. And this is just a total throwback. This is aging me. These are major store closings. We got Party City closing all their locations, 850 locations. Big Lots closing all of their locations. Advanced Auto Parts closing over 700 spots. And this is a big effing problem for me. I like fixing my own car.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks having these locations shut down. For me personally, Macy's closing another 65 right after Christmas. Denny's, a mainstay of Americana. My God. Sears just closed one of its final stores. Walgreens, hundreds of locations likely closing over the next few months. Sam Goody, God, you're too young for Sam Goody.
Oh yeah, I'm way too young for Sam Goody.
This is a throwback. You'd go to the mall and they would have like your new Limp Bizkit album. It was just, we were kings.
What a time to be alive.
And now it's closing its final locations. Foot Locker likely closed in hundreds of stores. So basically, we see the economy and the realization of value changing, and it really is a time frame where you have to pivot and learn new ways to make money, or you literally are going to get left in the dust. Like, there is a actual death of the middle and lower class that aren't paying attention to how technology is advancing. And when you compound this with next year and the year after that, the implementation of AI into customer service roles,
real estate.
Absolutely.
I heard this thing about real estate where they're going to be using AI real estate agents that are monitored by humans.
Yeah. Well, what do you think real world assets are, right?
Exactly.
You're moving the house and the title onto a blockchain, essentially an NFT, and then you do away with the middleman fee. These people that made exorbitant amounts of money being the middle person. There is something to be said, like, over the next 10 years, it might take 10, 15 years for those types of situations to be totally wiped away and non-existent, but it is coming. And so anyone that thinks that we can just be a real estate agent for the next 40 years, you're kidding yourself. There is something to take note in when we, because we're in crypto, we like making money in crypto as the projects go up, but we also have to make money and mine dirty fiat to buy assets or investments. So this is kind of a high level conversation we just ended up going into, but essentially we are witnessing a literal evolution of humankind, and it's all technologically driven. If we're not paying attention to it and we're not finding, say, the best AI implementation for our day-to-day lives, the best crypto products to invest into, the best real estate locations to buy, our kin are going to likely be left in the dust. So it's up to us. We have to pay attention.
And speaking about making money, and obviously we talk crypto all the time, every day. That's why y'all are here watching. We have you could trade, and you could trade with us here on 2Bit, but I have this post highlighted from none other than the Druth himself, Bitcoin Hire. I had some questions from one of our community members, Gabby. I got to ask, how do you learn how to trade? Through years of pain, suffering, and practice. That is very true. Very high emphasis on pain and suffering.
Yeah.
So no course or anything, self-taught, of course. Wow. Darn. So what's the best way for me to learn how to trade? And this is a perfect way how to get started. Start with a very small bag.
And just for reference, I wrote this at like 2:00 in the morning, so there are some misspellings here, and I did a talk to text. But go on.
Yeah, that's okay. Start with a very small bag. Limit loss exposure immensely when beginning. Develop a general thesis on market movements for the near term, and dissociate with money. Associate with percentages gained and lost. You want a small gain, small loss, small gain, big gain results. Stop losses are my friend. I can always recenter, and find another trade live. And that's exactly what I've started to do. I started trading with a very small bag, around $30 to $40. I go up and down all the time. I've turned $30 into 60, and I've turned 60 into 30 in a blink of an eye. The markets, even with small amounts of money, can wipe you out so quickly. So that's why you got to be careful. But if you are interested in trading with us, go ahead and use the link in our description. Use code BASEMENT. Come part of the 2Bit trading. We can do 2Bit trading competitions every so often.
We have another one coming up too.
We do? When is that? Do you know the day for that one?
It's going to be in the next few weeks. And I'm glad that you read that post or kind of my thoughts on it, because I do want to emphasize, if you are getting new to trading, never just take your calls directly from an influencer, even me or Isaac or anyone. Really, you have to start small. You have to understand that most traders out there give both options, up and down, okay, so that either one of them hits, they're correct. You have to develop a specific general thesis for yourself and then operate off of that accordingly and protect yourself from major losses. Use stop losses, and just keep in mind, there's a lot of, snapshot kings out there that literally are taking snapshots of either option. And then if the market pumps, they'll say, see, I told you so. If the market dumps, they do the same thing. See, I told you so. You have to develop the thesis for yourself. Start small, and don't expect these immense gains to just come out of the blue. It takes years of practice and research and understanding the market cycles, but then not only understanding the market cycles, but macroeconomics as well. How FUD basically affects the market, like what we see today with Tether affecting the market. You see some Tether FUD out there, and you have to understand if these like news releases are the end of the cycle, or if you really have to kind of take it with a grain of salt and then adjust your risk tolerance accordingly. So that's kind of my rant on that. Be careful out there. It's really fun to do, and it's a great way for me to print more Tether to buy altcoins and hold spot, because I still, even, I'm getting better and better at leverage trading, but my massive power that I know and I've exercised over multiple cycles is spot holding and time in the market, not trying to time the market. So just keep that in mind.
100%. That's like probably the best advice anybody could hear. So don't take that with a grain of salt. Soak it in and take a listen. Now we're going to be moving on here to Cointelegraph. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says tokenizing assets and securities could revolutionize finance. Let's have a quick listen to this. Oh, let me unmute this real quick.
Bud.
Specifically on Bitcoin, as I've said in the past, we're a believer in digitization of products. ETFs was a big revolution for the mutual fund industry, and it's really taking over the mutual fund industry. And we do believe that if we can create more tokenization of assets and securities, and that's what Bitcoin is, it could revolutionize again finance. Specifically.
So,
this plays into what we just were saying.
Yeah, this is what we're exactly just talking about, with the real world assets and the real estate being tokenized, with everything becoming digitalized, whether it's things like Amazon and like goods and services, all that being tokenized. It's the future. It's the future of finance. It's the future.
It all
of the way
comes
we're
down
gonna
to
live.
maximizing profits.
Mm-hmm.
It literally all comes down to maximizing profits. What do you think Larry Fink wants? Right?
Exactly. He wants to get all the money that he can for himself for this big bubble that's going to burst.
You're not getting paid enough for sleeves, apparently.
I'm not getting paid enough for sleeves. Yeah, I don't care. Anyways, and then when you make these big gains, you got to keep them safe. And you want to keep them safe, take a listen to the sponsor.
The Blockchain Basement is powered by Arculus. This is the world's leading crypto cold storage where you can easily secure, buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using 3-factor authentication to make sure to keep your assets safer than ever. Make sure to support the channel, use code BASE10, and click the link down in the description to get your hands on your security today.
Man, you pulled that off like a champ.
I'm getting better at this. Last week was a little rough. Now I'm getting the hang of it.
Last week was off the cuff, and you saved my butt because I was stuck getting the oil changed. I was no time. You came and you saved the day.
The worst part about that is you went to a place called 5-minute oil change, and it took an hour.
It's a scam.
They need to rebrand.
Yeah,
they need to rebrand their name. But moving on here to Bachart. Breaking news from India. Indian rupee falling off a cliff as it hits another all-time low against the U.S. dollar. Oh, look at that. All the currencies of the world are collapsing, and that's why you see major nations and nation-states buying crypto, buying Bitcoin as a national reserve. Drew, what do you want to add to that?
Well, God, I mean, there's so much controversy that's popped up on Twitter over nationalities and people, getting banned or getting their blue check marks taken away by talking out or speaking out against certain nationalities. I will say this. Statistically, the average legal immigrant behaves much better criminally than a native-born American citizen. So when we talk about barring immigration in total, we're actually, in my opinion, cutting ourselves short. Because if I'm thinking about, I used to hire at a commercial scale for Ball Aerospace, for Lockheed Martin, for commercial and industrial building companies. I used to handle the hiring processes for a multitude of different industries. And I will say that the labor pool here in America is very, very difficult to find good labor that is willing to put in the work. A lot of new grads come right out of their college. They immediately expect $80,000 to $100,000 jobs because they took out these immense loans for the education. But then the jobs that they're qualified to do are $40,000 to $50,000. So they just say no, and they just stay at mom's house and wait for that good thing to come along their way. Meanwhile, you have people coming in the legal manner that, like I said, are statistically much better behaved in a criminal law sense than native-born American citizens are. We have to keep this in mind. So when we talk about, locking down the country in total, then if you have that happen, you're going to have basically a stalemate in production. So, I just want to say that out loud. The India story, yes, India is part of BRICS, and BRICS is full of currencies that are falling off of a cliff. There is no denying it. The Russian ruble is falling off a cliff, the Indian rupee, the Chinese yen, all of these currencies that are supposed to depeg the dollar and stop American dominance are falling off the edge of a cliff. And actually what we see is their highly educated citizens are leaving their country to come to the United States because this is still the greatest nation on the planet. They want prosperity. They want the freedoms that are involved with being an American citizen. So when, I just want everyone to kind of keep that in mind when they're seeing all of the argument go on Twitter about, we should just block immigration in total. Are you really going to go hire the dude on the side of the street that's addicted to fentanyl to run your 7-Eleven, or are you going to hire Habib? Right? Habib shows up every day. Maybe he moves a little bit slower, but he's constantly there. And I've gone through this difficulty in hiring, and I wanted to always hire American, but I will be damned if I absolutely felt like I had a much higher success rate at long-term positions being filled and done by people that were like coming into the country legally, and they had a lot to prove. They operate at a high level, and they have a lot to prove. So I don't want us to get into that whole. Yeah, I feel like it's very short-sighted and honestly showing pretty ignorant racism when you're saying that no nationality. Like, this is a melting pot. America's a melting pot. Yeah, it's built that way.
Speaking of the blatant and awful racism we got going on, I got this from Autism Capital, kind of highlighting it. So basically, the right split into two factions: tech right and right. And the tech right is like, hey, we need H-1B visa people to do the jobs. And the right was like, no, you need to hire Americans. And the tech right is like, but you guys are retarded. And the right is like, well, you don't train us. And the tech right is like, you can't out-train being retarded.
Yeah.
And while all this was going on, we learned some people really don't like Indians.
Yeah.
Moving on.
That's basically what it is, man. You know, and I don't know. Like, I do have family that are Nepalese. And yeah, you know, they own a lot of restaurants, a lot of gas stations.
Yeah.
They employ a lot of people. Very hardworking people. And I think that this country needs to realize we are truly a melting pot. And yeah, you can get into the whole replacement theory. You know what? If you're worried about that, create your own. Then, you know, it's a personal choice. You're not being forced to do anything. And you're not being forced to live in city centers that are overwhelmed by, you know, things that you don't want to be around either. You can make that choice. You can vote with your feet and go where you belong. So,
but with all that bad news, let's get into more bad news. The Kobisi letter here, the U.S. spending is now close to $4 billion per day on interest expense alone. Meanwhile, the U.S. debt to GDP ratio just hit 121%, the highest since 2021 and up from 60% in 2008. Mind you, in 2008, I was 2 fucking years old. Now, not even World War II saw U.S.
bro,
debt.
what? You were...
I was 2 years old in 2008. I was born in 2006.
Oh my God.
I was born in 06, baby.
This is child labor.
This is child labor right here,
Okay.
even though I'm an adult now, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Not even World War II saw U.S. debt to GDP rise above 120%. Since 2020, the U.S. has added $13 trillion of debt, marking a 57% increase in just the last 5 years. As we head into 2025, prediction market sees a 36% chance that Doge can cut at least $250 billion in government spending. Even a cut of $250 billion would barely make a dent in our new deficit. And here is the chart, and it's absolutely disgusting and scary to look at. There's nothing. 1920 up to pretty much 1970, there was almost no debt. Now you start moving up a little bit in the 1990s, but as soon as 2000s, all the way up to 2020 and to where we're currently standing, it's just up only. This looks like a meme coin chart, okay, of U.S.
Stay on
debt.
this chart too.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on this chart.
So what we're looking at here is we have a lot of people expecting Elon Musk to be our savior, right? We have a lot of people. The Department of Government Efficiency is going to come and save the day, right? It's going to cut 80% of the workforce in the federal government, and that's going to solve all of our debt problems.
Yeah.
That is short-sighted wishful thinking. You literally need to abolish the Federal Reserve. To stop this chart from getting worse, you need to abolish the Federal Reserve to be able to stop this out-of-control printing and the debt increase, okay? It is really something that I think is funny. People think that Elon and Trump are our savior when it comes to this graph and the spiral of our value that we work hard for. It is not. It is literally up to us to force Congress to abolish the Federal Reserve. This is what needs to happen. And sure, I voted for Trump and I feel great about him, you know, but really, this whole situation, this whole scenario of inflation and how people on the lower to middle class barely can afford to eat anymore, it's not going to get fixed as long as you have a private Federal Reserve telling the government how bad things are going to get. We have a private institution that was set up at basically 2:00 in the morning by 3 congressional members with very little oversight in power of the United States at this point. And the worst part about this is that the congressional leadership cannot audit the Federal Reserve. It's either they can turn it on or off. They've left it on for 110 years now. The only option is to shut it off. And that is where we're at right now. So it's a hard pill to swallow, but I just had to say it.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said was correct, but you pretty much nailed it right on the dot. That being said, moving on. Cointelegraph, just in, Cambodia's central bank has approved commercial banks and payment institutions to offer Bitcoin and crypto-related services. Now, this is very bullish for, Southeast Asia. You see more and more places like Cambodia. You see all these other places using Bitcoin as payment solutions and commercial banks, and even for what is it, reserve currencies for their countries. So this is big. And now
Here's
Europeans.
the FUD.
Here's the FUD. This is where it gets interesting. This is what you've been waiting for. Europeans, pay attention. Your USDT will be illegal from the 30th of December. If you still hodl USDT in Europe, it might be a good idea to change stables or not. I'm not Joe Daddy. So, I have this. This is where all the FUD is. I'm pretty sure that you covered this on the Discover Crypto show if you watched that this morning. And if this computer would like to work, we'd be able to read this article. There we go. I'm going to move down here. The European Union's cryptocurrency regulations are set to take full effect in just a matter of days. Still a significant amount of uncertainty on Tether's USD stablecoin. United States crypto exchange Coinbase delisted Tether's USDT in mid-December, citing compliance with the EU's market and crypto assets regulation. MiCA, after Coinbase USD delisting, this stablecoin has continued trading across the EU, with many exchanges apparently awaiting more clarity from European authorities on USDT compliance with MiCA. Now, there is one major date that we have to be looking at here, and that is October 25th, 2024, when the Fed was investigating Tether and pretty much was looking into the, what was it?
Was it the Department of Justice FUD?
It was the reports emerged about the federal investigations into Tether for possible violations of sanctions and anti-money laundering rules, leading to the dip in the cryptocurrency market, as you can see today.
The time frame you're highlighting here is it's the Department of Justice move on October 25th, and this caused so many what I call new to crypto people. This was when we were just about to breach, we had breached and it basically hit those all-time high levels. It was like $69,400, right? And then October 25th hit, the Department of Justice release on the Tether FUD came out. We fell by just under 5%, essentially the wick to wick, about 4.3% on that day. Everyone said, oh my God, it's over with. Run for the hills. We have to go back down. We have to look for lower targets. And so many quote unquote expert, crypto analysts were calling for levels to go back down into the 50s, maybe even the 40s. They were just looking down all the way. They were looking to lose these levels because of Tether FUD. And, it is something kind of funny to me to see this snap reaction on Bitcoin. Like, sure, today hasn't been that great for price, right? But at large, I still feel like this is a simple but a scratch. The market's going to move on just as it always does. The 4-year cycle is going to remain king. We're going to see 2025 be the next bull year, just like we saw 2021 be that bull year. And where we're sitting here is very equivalent to December of 2020. So keep that in mind. I remember December 2020, a lot of people were kind of cutting it short, thinking that we were done. History doesn't say that. So you have to remain based.
Hodl and keep your paper hands to yourself. And this is from Watch It Guru. It is just from October 25th. We were highlighting U.S. government launches investigation into USDT, crypto firm Tether. And from Paulo Ordonio, or how do you say that? Ardoino.
You're Sanchez. Come on.
I don't care. This is probably Italian.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care. Anyways, Tether FUD equals moon. Good opinion. Too bad it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because you could tell by today, nothing going on. Great. Now we have this. Just in, Terra Luna founder Do Kwon to be extradited to the United States. The opposite of someone who used to work here. Now this is interesting. Terra Luna founder.
Yeah.
What's this all about? I didn't do too much research on it.
Oh, yeah. So Do Kwon, leader of Luna. Luna was it basically the stable coin depegged and went absolutely downhill. And it looks like there was a lot of internal fraud that was going on with Do Kwon and him being extradited back to the United States. There's a lot of, American interest in making sure that he sees justice within the American judicial system in our crypto regulation. And really, this is the Do Kwon story is actually something that we need to keep in mind when we get overly bullish in 2025 and we start to get towards 2026. And people will say in 2026, they're going to say the party's going to continue. our altcoins, all these crazy little protocols we built, they're going to continue up. I just have to warn you guys, the altcoin sector is going to fall again. Well, after the 2025 pump, it's going to be great, but take the profits. Take the profits out of altcoins, roll them into either Bitcoin, sure, and expect Bitcoin to pull back by at least 50%, or real estate, or both, right? I'm going to be doing both, knowing that Bitcoin's probably going to fall by 50% heading into 2026 and 2027. But do not get married to any altcoins into a bear season, because that is where extreme pain can be created, found, and that's where people will lose their ass and give up on crypto forever. Meanwhile, degens that just know the 4-year cycle are going to continue printing money on this ebb and flow of the market. So,
also, don't be like me and buy at the tops in March. Okay? Otherwise, you will be hodling and you'll be very frustrated with the gains that you lost. But now this making me erect for all the reasons you don't. Okay, never mind. You think it's just because of the woman? No, liberal shoots gun for the first time. We're watching this.
Hold on. I want to answer something real quick.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So, a lot of people are asking why not just stable coins. Stable coins. There's only 2 stable coins I'd trust leaving around. And that's not even like I don't use stable coins to stable up in downturn markets. I use gold, firearms, real estate, vehicles, and Bitcoin. But the 2 stable coins that I would trust the most are USDC and USDT. The reason why I wouldn't be considering other types of stable coins, even like the Kraken stable coin or anything like that, is because I've seen a lot of disgusting pain through stable coins that everyone thought were stable and safe, right? And so over a few markets, I've just learned they rise and they fall. So I really, .wook, why not just dollars? The dollars, they can print and continue to cause inflationary problems for me in my buying power. So one outlet that I actually really like using is taking the crypto and putting it straight into gold or guns or real estate or Bitcoin. So I just kind of keep it simple that way. Guns are my favorite stable coin. They go pow, and that's why I got to watch this.
Now fucking liberals are shooting them. So, this is great. Let's take a listen.
Yeah.
The right to bear arms was something that was necessary at the time. It's just an antiquated thing. But I want to shoot one. Whoa! You can feel it throughout your whole body.
Oh, she's
and I'm not as scared as I was, but I'm scared for the shotgun, definitely. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't think I could do that. Oh, sorry.
Let's point the gun at him.
It's an adrenaline rush, and even though it's fucked up and I feel confused and conflicted about it all, I would probably come back and do it again.
Damn.
Now, before I give my thoughts, mods, ban Clasha.
Oh, yeah.
Scam comment in our live.
That's a new type of scam comment, too. They'll just give out a seed phrase. Do not put that seed phrase in.
We'll lose everything.
So, please. I love that video, though.
The world is healing. The world is healing. We have liberals having fun and wanting to go back to the gun range.
Yeah, I love it. She's like, did you see what I did? Like, tries to blow him away.
Did you see what I did? But, hey, this is great.
God.
Now, what do we got here? From Walter Bloomberg, Trump says Bill Gates asked to come to Mar-a-Lago tonight.
Ugh.
Gates, please don't publish the Epstein list. I'll give all my money to you if you don't. Trump, all of it.
Oh, my God.
Below this, so you can see that. Now, this is interesting. Why do you think Bill Gates wants to come to Mar-a-Lago? Is it because of the release of the Diddy and Epstein list?
Well, I think, just like Mark Zuckerberg and all these elites, they know that Trump is coming into power, and they can see the sentiment shift heavily from left-leaning data leaders. Now they realize that Trump is coming back into power. And Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, this is their white flag of surrender. And, Bill Gates probably is on the Epstein list too. So,
don't doubt it.
That person putting out the joke about it, there's probably some degree of truth to that. But, I think that Kash Patel and Trump are going to release that list. I think that that's going to cause a lot of unraveling of people's realities of who they trusted, their idols in mainstream media being shown to have been on that list and be involved with one of the most nefarious stories of our time. It's really going to be quite a bit of a shakeup. So very interesting to see. We got a super chat from Timothy. I think those are euros. Tima
will be the top meme coin of 2025.
Very bullish. Okay, I mean more on you. Hope you do well. But I don't know. I'm really not going to be looking into that one very much.
No,
are euros worth anything anymore?
No. Just like the dollar isn't worth anything, or ruble isn't worth anything anymore. All that stuff. What is this? Jackhammer cards? I ain't even gonna read that. Not worth my time. Ali, NRC, whenever human recruiters will become AI recruiter operators. This is what we were talking about earlier, Drew. About how AI is going to be put in from getting it next year, 2026, and how evolution could come. Let's take a listen to what this is.
What our recruiters do is they operate our AI recruitment engine in the best way possible. And now they become like 100x recruiters that can interview a lot more candidates, source a lot more candidates, et cetera, et cetera. So like instead of this sort of like replacing humans narrative, we're very much going with AI plus humans together, do the best work.
Yeah. And so your perspective is it's going to be a time saving, it's going to be a quality ratio improvements, and it's going to be an insight knowledge enabler.
One of the evals is we kind of compare the AI interview question qualities to human.
Looks like it froze there.
Yeah,
this is something scary though. Like, think about this. I did cold call recruiting. I was what they call a headhunter.
Yeah.
If you have an AI system that literally never stops working and is constantly sending inquiries via email, text message, getting people on phone call interviews and things of that nature, this is something I saw coming in about 2020, 2019, as AI was just starting to pop up. In crypto and smart contracts, I realized like I'm literally as a headhunter going to be replaced in a few years. So human interaction and oversight of AI is going to definitely be a thing, but the larger degree of what we know as jobs where we've been able to mine fiat so far, we have to pay attention. They are changing. And we had a good question from Gabby, I think. It was like, young dudes like us, me and Isaac, where would you advise putting your gains from 2025 into? Now, I can't give financial advice, but I can say what I'm going to be doing for myself, just in the larger macroeconomic scene of what's going on right now, is that I see an opportunity for a little bit of stagflation on the housing market. And I really feel like if I'm taking advantage of my crypto gains in 2025 and putting them into the real estate market, that is going to bode very well. Because you have to think about the average age of a construction worker right now is around 50 years old. And it is very, very difficult to produce new land. Though it may be cheaper currently, you still have to get the work done. I really feel like real estate is where I am going to be putting that value in. So just to answer your question.
Great advice, but not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Now, Polymarket. Odds bird flu is declared a pandemic are up to 18%. The CDC is concerned if this thing wants to load because his computer is about to explode from being overloaded. The CDC is concerned about mutations in the USA's first severe case of the virus. So, bird flu pandemic before August 2025.
This is crazy. So hold on.
It's very possible.
I'll switch this. You have it. The bird flu pandemic before August of 2025.
Yeah, this is nuts.
And then we have the state of California already declared an emergency about this. So this is probably what this odds are stemming from. I don't know that I have a hard time believing that people are going to accept another economic lockdown over, a virus. I don't think that is going to work. I mean, I guess the chat, maybe I'm being too optimistic here.
I want to hear what the chat says.
Yeah. But I feel like people are kind of over being psyoped over viruses to shut down their lives. That's just my
personal. Why would there's going to be major pushback from them pushing this type of thing towards us, this bird flu thing, because 2020 wasn't that long ago, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you were young. You were in like high school. Right?
I was in middle school. I was going into high school, but I was in middle school at that time. I was 8th grade, getting out of there. And those it went by really fast, but it's only been barely 5 years. Why would we want to get pushed into another lockdown worldwide? Nobody wants to be stuck in their houses like that again. Like people are saying scamdemic. I agree with that. It's just a way for them to scare us before this new administration comes in.
The sentiment is what Tommy Moran has. It's never again. And Crypto Steve, same thing. And I'm sure a veteran, but it's like you can't lock people down for more than a decade without literally experiencing an uprising. Like you can't hold people's humanity back for a decade's time and not expect to have the elites in power of that lockdown physically taken out of power. So it's something that I don't think the elites are willing to do. And I also think that Trump received so much backlash from Operation Warp Speed that, he has to acknowledge that now too, because the movements that we saw in Washington last inauguration were paled in comparison to the other movements that we saw. I think it was Virginia at the Capitol. A lot of people forget about the Capitol movement. I think it was Virginia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Veteran Crypto. When the Capitol building was surrounded by not unarmed people with flags. It was armed Americans ready to stand against a tyrannical government that wanted to take the Second Amendment away in that state. So when they saw that, I think that we kind of focus on January as like the moment where the powerful realized how many patriots were out there. No, is actually, I think it was that Virginia Capitol that really showed them. I mean, there was thousands of people that showed up with guillotines or guillotines. I know someone's going to correct me, but they realized that there literally is a 10 million plus man army in the United States that is not taking their bullshit anymore. So I do kind of doubt that they're going to try to do this lockdown on us again. I think we pushed that back hard enough where they realize that people aren't ready to roll over, at least here in the United States yet.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I know nobody wants to be locked
down.
There
it is. Again, so. Deadwood's calling it Richmond, Virginia. That was the move. Richmond, Virginia. Look it up. It was Richmond, Virginia Capitol protest. That's how you can find it. We can't show it here on the show. But that event is what I think made a lot of lights go off in the powerful's minds that realized, hey, we cannot keep pushing this or we literally won't be here.
Now, obviously, we had all this FUD. We had another talk about a government shutdown here. Let's move on to, the good stuff. Let's move on to the altcoin section of the show. Now, this from Ass Blaster, the best account on the fucking planet. Don't fade the obvious choices when the markets return to their natural bullish state. Be greedy when others are fearful. ETH, Link, Aave. Middle of Grayscale Trust and Coinbase 50 Index. Now, Link. One of my biggest bags. I don't have any. I have like $6 in ETH because I had to get out of a project.
That's
and
huge,
all I have left.
To the moon.
To the moon. $6 everywhere. And Aave, we looked at it earlier on an up only pattern from the entire year. But it's going to be great. Now, which will happen first in 2025? I want the chat's opinion on this. Will SUI go to $10 or will Sol go to $1,000? Now, I want to hear what the chat thinks about this before I get into this. I have a couple of thoughts about it. So, +1 in chat. Spam the ones in chat if you think SUI is going to $10, and spam 2 in chat if you think Sol is going to $1,000. And Bearded Drew, are you seeing Parsec? Yes. We looked at Parsec up 66% on the day, just at the beginning of the show, which is absolutely crazy. But back to the ones and twos. 1, SUI to $10, or 2, Sol to $1,000. I think SUI is going to go to $10 first, though.
You're thinking SUI?
I think so. SUI right now is about $4.05.
Yeah. Why do you think SUI would beat Solana in this? Because a lot of Solana maxis would disagree with you here.
Yeah, I'm a Solana maxi, so let's go.
I know, and that's kind of surprising. You're always talking about Solana.
Yeah, I'm always talking about Solana, but you have to be realistic. Okay, SUI's up $4.22 as of right now, and let's see. There's 10 billion total supply, and there's 2.9 circulating supply. So there's definitely token unlocks to be had in the next upcoming months.
I'll give you the stats on that real quick, too.
I can remember where to find the stats.
No, I got it for you. I got them off the top of my head. So
okay,
in the middle of 2025, that circulating supply that's currently at 2.9 billion tokens is supposed to be at 5 billion SUI tokens. And this is subject to change. This is just something I want to highlight. It is subject to change, but that number should be 5 billion circulating SUI tokens by mid-2025. And the subject to change piece is depending on network security, right? So they can change the release of the tokens depending on their discretion of network security, what that means. But as things are set, it should be 5 billion tokens. It's at a $12 billion market cap currently.
So let's say if it accomplished $50 billion market cap.
$50 billion.
That's not unrealistic.
That's
at all.
Honestly, in my opinion, very realistic.
Yeah. And that's
where is it at currently in terms of, go back to CoinMarketCap.
Right.
That's number 15.
Number 15, and Solana's like what, number 4?
Yeah.
And yeah, but, and then the hype around Solana is like fading away now. It's what it looks like. Even though they have some of the most transactions, they have the fastest transactions. They have all these very good things that you could build and meme coins and all this stuff, but it's AI and RWAs is kind of swooped in and taken the front seat.
Well,
the adults are in the room.
Utility tokens, right? It's a utility token saw that massive pump because the regulations in the US opened up all of a sudden. Utility tokens have been sitting on the sidelines waiting to get their chance to actually be used at an enterprise level. Once they saw the nod that, oh my gosh, this actually is something that the US is going to be open to implementing, that's when we say it was like a kid that hadn't gotten laid ever, just blowing his load to the ceiling because they finally had that regulatory oversight that they wanted. And we talk about SUI is currently number 15. If the market velocity increases in tandem from the 2020-2021 bull market, the top 20 to 15, I'll do this thing. The top 20 to 11 projects should land between 85 billion up to around just under $200 billion. That's if they rise in congruence at the same level we saw altcoins rise last market, right?
Yeah.
So if you're seeing SUI just holding its specific position at number 15, not overtaking or becoming the number 3 project or anything, just holding the line and then seeing the market rise as it did last cycle.
Yeah.
That would put the price right at like the 140. Let's be conservative and say let's just say $100 billion market cap. What would $100 billion market cap look like for SUI? I want to see that level.
$21.07.
Holy shit.
So that's 4.4x from the price where it's at now. And I mean, it could definitely get to $10 faster than Solana can get to $1,000, considering Solana is around $185 in its little down only moments that it's had the past couple of weeks. And,
I'll show this too.
Yeah,
Look.
go ahead.
So Solana, I got it primed for us to compare, right? Solana is currently, I believe, number 4.
Number 6, but yes.
Number 6 right now?
Yeah, I just checked.
Was that including stablecoins?
It's number 5 without stablecoins.
So what we got here, let's see. I cooked the circulating supply up to right around, I believe it'll be 520 million tokens circulating mid-25. And the bottom end, let's say that it just holds within the top 10 and the market rises as it historically did last bull market without ETFs or all this regulatory openness, right? And that's where I expect the loss of diminishing returns to happen this market. Now, that absolutely might change next market, but yes, 2Bit does have a mobile app. David Middleton, absolutely. This would mean that it holds the line. Let's say it drops to, say, number 10 in terms of crypto projects, not including stablecoins. That would bring the price to $400 a unit, which is similar to that analysis that we did in that Solana video we just released, right? It's like the warning about Solana that it might only double, right? What a terrible warning to have. In order to accomplish $1,000 per token, the market cap would need to hit $516 billion. Okay. So Solana would need to retain its position slash hold within the top 5 of crypto projects to accomplish that level. That's where the difficulty in like, expecting Solana to hit $1,000 if it doesn't keep the limelight on itself and it doesn't continue holding that number 3 / number 4. Would you say it's number 5 currently right now?
5.
Okay.
That's without stablecoin.
That's without stablecoins. Okay. It's got to hold a lot of limelight to be able to accomplish that. So when we think about it, Solana pumped from $9 to $240, way faster than the rest of the market did. What I see happening is a lot of profit taking out of the Solana ecosystem into SUI, into Base, into these new hot horses on the race, because people are looking to just continue compounding their gains. I don't think Solana is going to lose the top 10, but I do think that it's going to be much easier for SUI to outpace it in terms of
100%. And then Solana has memes, but SUI also has memes from SUI Ninja. SUI memes are getting ready for a nice run. This is your heads up. Beware. SUI ecosystem. I think SUI is going to be one of the biggest.
Let's check the SUI
ecosystem.
Yeah, I got it primed right here. This is helping me. Look at this.
Oh, look
we
at
can
that.
go back. This is going to work really good.
This
I think
this is bullish.
Now, I don't really do a lot of memes, but I do dexes, right? And I like the top auxiliary dex plays in bullish environments. Cetus protocol is that for SUI. And when I look at this chart overall, I'll scoot this over just a little bit so we can see good. This is Cetus protocol for the last 24 hours, but let's really look at the yearly here. Let's pull this in. Gosh, that's really squishy. This is a shelf. This is a shelf that is built up with higher lows, and this is a project that only has, what's the market cap? A very low market cap. Let's see what this is. This is, $210 million, right? So we think about upside potential, seeing things that are under the $1 billion market cap in one of the most bullish environments where we see money flowing into it. That is where stupid gains can be made. And so that being said, given the current time frame, I'm printing some new Tether. Cetus protocol has been on my watch list to get. I think I might have to buy Cetus protocol. That's kind of what I'm feeling like I need to buy.
Big Daddy in the chat. Shout out. No. So what else are you planning on buying today? Do you have any other top picks in the SUI ecosystem, or are you looking at somewhere else?
Well, I'm definitely want more Morpho, man. Morpho. I'm telling this graph, it just has not gave a damn. This has been like one of my best performers already. I was hoping for a pullback today. It doesn't really give it to. God, look at that. Well, just
price discovery.
Yeah, it's trying to go into price discovery right now. An insane influx in total value locked into it. So I am feeling pretty dang good about just continually adding to the Morpho bag, but you guys know me. I'm greedy. I'm trying to wait for I longed it from this level. So that was like $1,000 trade, just longing it from $2.60. That worked out great. And it feels like a pretty good project to long because it's moving regardless of, Bitcoin's pullbacks and really the altcoin sector's pullbacks at large. I see just a mountain of money being poured into these base DEX plays. I might add to my Aerodrome position, but I'm treating today and the deals that we're seeing today, the haircut that we're seeing today, as an extreme buying opportunity. Honestly, it's hard for me to find a project that doesn't look undervalued right now. We'll pull up this here. Let's go down the biggest losers of the day. These are the ones on sale. I already have a small bag of Pudgy, Pengu. Maybe I'll add into that. This is I feel like this is going to be a very strong meme coin this cycle. So
100%.
Hold that. Hedera H-bar. My wife already has that one, so we already got that covered. Aave hasn't pulled back enough for me. I'm looking for, this isn't enough pain. Maybe Jupe, I mean, everyone's kind of worried about the airdrop coming and it's going to dump. I really, really think Jupiter is undervalued. So it's kind of looking tasty. And Aerodrome at this $1.50 level, honestly, Aerodrome and Chainlink at these levels are looking very tasty to me.
Yeah.
Aerodrome, let's see.
I want a little more of a pullback on Aerodrome before I pull the trigger because my average is around $1.20.
Now we're in a new
40.
situation where it's just leveled. It's gone to that next shelf, right? We're looking at the month. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if I can zoom down. Yeah, here we go. So the month, $1.40 a month ago, it tried to pierce through that and recovered very violently. And the bottom end of this piercing was at $1.30. But in general, I feel like $1.50 is looking like it's our new aerodrome floor. And you guys know how I operate. Like, I was able to establish these 50-cent spots as floor levels for aerodrome. Even, because I bought it at 18 cents. And I was like, fuck, everything feels so expensive now. I had to wait for it to recenter and find those spots of its new floor. I think that these local resistant levels at $1.40 that you can see here at about October 25th, right, or October 11th, and then November 8th, and then also this support level just in the midterm when it had that insane pump to the upside. I really feel like this $1.50 level is actually feeling pretty advantageous for me to add more position. So I know I completely understand where you're like looking at $1.50 aerodrome, like it's too expensive, right? But
yeah.
I don't see the inflows stopping for base.
Fair. And
so, the hillbilly TA in me tells me that that's a buy opportunity. So.
Speaking of, you're talking about Jupiter and the airdrops. I have the story right here.
Yeah.
Jupiter uplink, January 2025. Here's the first overview of the upcoming January. I don't even know distribution.
Jupiter
distribution.
That's a terrible word.
That's a terrible word. Jupiter uplink. This is bearish. Team decided to go with splits between users and stakers and carrots and good cats. That means, but continue. This way, we are trying to appreciate everyone in the Jupiterverse. You need to get some better names, buddy. This is a draft subject to change. 700 million Jupiter in total is going to be airdropped to a bunch of people. Also, real quick, shout out to Pump, Crypto Chump, with 5 gifted blockchain memberships. Let's see who got them today. Francisco got it. Hike King, Scotty Swing, Darwin.
I think I know Scotty Swing.
I know Scotty Swing. But everyone else, those are some new faces. So make sure to get into the Discord. Links in the description, and you can get access to everything. And also, if you are so inclined to renew your subscription for $1.25 a week, feel free to do so. We greatly appreciate it.
You spend $5 a day on coffee. I hope maybe you guys don't, but it supports us a lot. Two Pump Crypto Chump also said he took a fourth of his Solana bag and put it into Morpho at $2.66. So even just this small move I call it small, but $2.60 up to $3 in a very, very short amount of time for Morpho is outperforming Solana by a long shot right now. So that's what we kind of, it's hard for me to say this about, again, I feel like Solana is going to hold in the top 10, but there is better upside to be found. And that's why I look within the environments of these mainstay, layer ones to find great plays within them to increase my value, right? It's great to be a part of a great community. It's even greater to have a bunch of money to help your actual community in real life. So
D90 is funny. I've been out of crypto for 7 days. What the fuck is Morpho? True.
Yeah,
I've had that, but
it's a DeFi lending play. It's got what's called vaults, and Morpho is on base, but some of the best, I think it was like EtherFi are heavily exposed to the Morpho vaults. It's producing a lot of yield and even yield through stable coins. It's a brand new product that's come out, and I've just seen billions of dollars hammer into Morpho on the total value lock side. I guess it's worth highlighting on DeFi Llama here. Morpho Labs, C90, I'm sorry you missed it, bro. We called it at $1.90 and I backed up the truck, brother. But there's still time. There's still time for you. Let's see here. So pull this. Bam. If this okay. So here's Morpho. Total value locked right now is coming in at 3.24 billion. Oh yeah, there you go.
Thank you for you.
Yeah. This doesn't give the highlight of the price comparatively, but you can notice the chart that I just showed you. The chart that I just showed you basically tapping its head on all-time highs, right? The all-time highs coming in right at about $3.16. It's currently at a $3 price level, regardless of the market pulling back. This thing is up by 15% on the 7-day and 5% on the daily. Now, it is trying to smash into price discovery, yet you have the total value locked is going parabolic. So this, here, I'll scoot this over just a little bit more. This is the parabolic moment I'm talking about. So the price is essentially banging its head right in this realm, yet the total value locked is going nuts. This, in my trading experience, is what I call an opportunity for arbitrage. When I see the total value locked outpacing the price, that is where I see something like that. And I don't find the same type of thing with Solana. You can see this is the value locked. Crazy. The Solana is at 8 billion. Morpho's at a 3 billion. And Morpho's like a $500 million market cap, right? Stablecoin or Solana's at billions, tens of billions of dollars in market cap. But the arbitrage opportunity is really not here for me. What the hell? Right here, it's basically matched up the price to the TVL. It doesn't give me that big opportunity, nor does SUI, the actual token SUI. So, there's a bunch of different reasons why I get in and out of projects, but the arbitrage opportunity that I find within this realm is a big player in that decision process for me. And again, SUI is right there matched up with itself. Morpho, not so much. There's a lot of opportunities.
And if you wanted some more bullish information on Morpho, AIXBT here, Morpho hit $5 billion in deposits. Second highest TVL growth this month, ranked 13 across all chains. That's still under a 500 million market cap. Yeah, there's nothing else to really say about that. So we're moving on.
Oh, and someone's got a good question. And I haven't talked about it in a while.
Just kidding, I'm not moving on.
Avalanche. This is moving on. This is moving on. Avalanche, I hold a decent bag of it. I built my bag at about $10. I think that Avalanche is going to be one of the... It's about as close as I can get comfortably to the gaming narrative. I know that VCs effing love Avalanche. It's a very good layer one. And Veteran Crypto took the words out of my mouth. If I'm looking for a safe way to 5 to 10x in crypto, something that's I really feel convicted is going to be around, then Avalanche is one of those things. So, the buy spot that I did, and I called it when I did it here, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on Avalanche at $10 a unit. I took 90% of those tokens off the market at $52 a unit. Now I still have a bag left over. It's all house money, and I'm letting it do its thing and work for me, right? It's all house money that's remaining. Avalanche, I could see it's right under Chainlink as far as trying to break into the top 10. And you don't have this massive shill army pushing Avalanche forward, and it's still trying to break up into the top 10. Avalanche is nothing I'm going to sleep on. And I see it being worth a few hundred up to $400 a unit this bull market. So I'm excited for my bag. It's built. It feels weird buying it at the levels it's at right now, but maybe I should add to my Avalanche.
It's not bad right now. Last time I looked at Avalanche, like $34. Not bad.
Yeah.
Dennis Padilla with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Can I please have your thoughts on Moonwell? Well, talking about buying opportunities. Since Friday buy day. Moonwell is at a great buy level right now. Why? Because it's going down 20% on the month, 8% on 7-day, and only 0.13% on there. But looking at the yearly, you see this little haircut making higher lows. It looked like a healthy chart, and they're definitely viable levels. If this damn computer would load.
Well, I have something here on my computer. Let's check out this. This is Moonwell on the TVL to price comparison. Honestly, huge opportunity of arbitrage still remaining on Moonwell. I did build a bag. The bag that I built, I started buying it at 7 cents and then kept buying it down to 5 cents. I think my average buy is right around 6 cents right now. It's right. It hasn't moved up or down for me in terms of average buy levels.
Yeah.
But Moonwell is in the kind of it goes Aerodrome, Morpho, Moonwell, and then I also have Alien Base token.
Yeah.
I basically bought a grouping of all of the best dexes I could find on base. Check out where Moonwell. You might have to actually end up using this computer from now on because this one still moves pretty fast. Very sad.
Very sad.
Moonwell, yeah, I mean, I had to wait for it because we saw it and a lot of people brought it up. I can't remember. I think it was Jay or something like this that got into it at like 3 cents. And I started paying attention to it. I couldn't buy the, vertical movement that it made, but once it did start to settle out, and I could see those settle out points coming here, I've started buying Moonwell. It has dropped to number 3,051, but the market cap size is 192 mil. It was ahead of Morpho not too long ago, but Morpho has stolen the show for the number 2 spot. And is now breaching 500 mil, but I do feel like Moonwell is going to be another sneaky play. So Moonwell, actually, you kind of reminded me that it might be a pretty good buy. Right, it's very undervalued.
I don't have any either, so I might have to pick some up, especially at this level.
Dude, I mean, it's weird having people like build portfolios that are the exact same.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
But there is no denying that Coinbase in the base chain got Binance out of the way with judicial movements from the Department of Justice. When you have powers that be moving mountains for you, it's so obvious. And 2 or 3 years from now, people will be like, "Oh, it was so obvious. But why didn't everyone know?" It's because everyone's focused on, they get tunnel vision on their own thing. And I saw the DOJ go after Binance. I saw the room get made for the Base chain. And now Base is basically it's helping Ethereum remain number 2.
Yeah,
because it's bringing all these smart contract uses, but really at a minimal price for transaction cost. So it's been kind of a saving grace for Ethereum. Base chain is a saving grace for Ethereum, and the super chain Optimism powering everything. So there's a lot of interesting things and layers to crypto that you need to understand and research yourself. But if you look at the macro markets and the judicial movements within crypto, then you can see who's going to be the real king this market. Pretty obvious to me. So.
Yeah. Well, wow. What a show today.
We got into it, man.
We got into it. We got into some deep. We got into the FUD. We got into the bullish. We got into the bearish.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything on today's Freak Friday. And make it even freakier, I'm your fucking host today. So, dude, would you like to send him off?
Yeah, man. First of all, I think you did a pretty good job.
Thank you.
I know it's new, but I want to get your reps in, man. You 100%. Know what I mean? And you made some great calls. So, I think that you've done a good job with the Solana ecosystem. But really, like, you helped me out a lot with this channel, and I'm very, very appreciative of it.
I appreciate it.
Very, very appreciative of all your hard work. It's hard to find good help, especially, you give me hope for the younger generation, and I want to get that example out to the younger generation because a lot of them can't even right now. They're getting high on Fent, not showing up to their 7-Eleven jobs.
Doing drugs.
Yeah, I just appreciate you. So I just want to give a shout out to you.
This company and this show changed my life.
You never know. You were coming in here for child labor when you first showed up.
I was coming in here for child labor for Kelly and everybody else here, and I'm here now.
Yeah.
No, there's one way your life can change.
Yeah.
And good show. Go pay Isaac some sleeves. No.
Yeah,
gun show.
I'll try to get him. He's a young buck, you know what I mean. But
with the poon,
you guys with the
poon,
you guys, this is a great time to be alive. And really, if we know what's coming next year and understand that the economy and crypto are not going to be going up and to the right forever, if we know the cycle patterns and just build internal levels of how much money would actually change my life for the better, when that time comes, you'll know better when to pull that trigger and really change everything. So I emphasize this is the time to lock in. This is the time to overwork and to really, really focus. Over the next 6 months, we have the potential to make more money than we could in 10 years of regular work. So I just emphasize this for you guys. Lock in. This is the time to change our financial future for the better. Appreciate every single one of you out there in the chat. Crypto Custodian, Tommy Marin, BZ Fat Cat, Jeff Neeb, Kyle Watts, Cali Crypto Dude, Papa Guth, Adam Bombetti. You guys are absolutely awesome for being the cornerstones. Veteran Crypto, we got to get those black site videos going again. I love you all, and we'll be seeing you very, very soon.
Better for you.
It's great.